What's going on, YouTube? It's NC, the place to be. Chill train, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys another Raw review. Since I missed all wrestling content last week, I missed Raw, I missed NXT, I missed AEW, I missed Friday Night Smackdown. I missed it all. I gave no reviews for you guys last week because I told you guys I was working, and I was working them 12-hour shifts, and them shifts was wearing me out. I was just like, I just want to get home and go to sleep. Okay, so I'm sorry about that, but now I appreciate you guys being understanding, because now we're going back here at Raw, as we're only 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and now we are really wrapping up everything. And right now the card is pretty much set, especially after the night, except for one matchup that I will definitely get to. So this is going to be more of a Raw recap type thing like that, because I watched Raw in bits and pieces, and then I came back, and they kind of filled in all the gaps, stuff like that. So detailed match breakdown not happening right here tonight, though. But Raw kicks off when it comes to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They come out and everybody they talk about how their brotherhood and their friendship, and it hurted Kevin Owens to see him Sami Zayn be manipulated by the bloodline like that. But then, you know what, the Usos come out there, Jay talk about hey look, Sami Zayn is a betrayer. But Jim's like, I don't know why y'all look at that WrestleMania side, because ain't nothing gonna happen at WrestleMania, because Kevin Owens put out the challenge that it's gonna be the Uso brothers taking on me and my brother, you know what I'm saying? So, but Jimmy at first wasn't for that, but Jimmy was like, hold on, Uso. This could be the first time that we got, the only opportunity we got to finally put an end to the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn problem that we got. So we can just take, kill two birds with one stone. So, when it comes to WrestleMania, challenge accepted. We ain't got to wait the minute. So they started balling right now. They got going, and Kevin Owens knocks Jimmy over the barricade. They set up Jey Uso for the haluva kick, but then as Sammy's going forward, Jimmy pulls out his brother. You gotta say that spot for WrestleMania. That's gonna be the big thing of Sammy pinning Jey Uso is the finish with a haluva kick at WrestleMania. That's got to be the finish. Okay, so it's official. There's for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, it's going to be the Usos taking on the Sammy and Kevin show. Well, I don't know if they were so called themselves that, but that's what's gonna be. Great opening, and I like that now. So it's not made official. We know what's gonna happen. Not made official. We just waiting for one more match to be official, which like I said, I will talk about that in a minute. But the question is, everybody says it's gonna main event night one, but I think they got their mindset on Rhea and Charlotte main eventing night one. Right now, this day, they're trying to build some heat to it, but it ain't there. It's not there for me. It's like the women's title matches this year had just not been there for me, to be honest with you. So that part right there sucks. But I think it could be a thing where the whole Bloodline storyline could be night two. They open with that match on night two, and they end with Roman and Cody on night two. And honestly, that'd probably be the best way, because depending on what way, it looks like night two may be the bigger night, because I think they may put if they even put the Hell in the Cell on night two, I'm like, well, shit, night one in trouble. But I'm like, but maybe you'll do the blood that way, because I think they'll suck the energy out the room, and that won't be fair for Rhea and Charlotte. But we just don't necessarily know it just yet. So, but it's been a great story up so far. So we have a non-title match: Austin Theory taking on Montez Ford. These guys are the future of the company right now. So I think that for what it was, they had a pretty good matchup. Theory hits Ford with the 8-count down for the victory. Theory says on the mic that Ford didn't believe in him, and as for John Cena, he doesn't believe in him, but at WrestleMania he will. Theory, he got a little eye injury, so his eyes a little red. But I can tell you, man, these guys are going to be the future of the thing. Backstage, we got the Bloodline back there, and Roman's talking to the Usos and Solo there, and Jimmy says, nothing could hurt more than being torn away from his brother, so he'll never forgive Zayn for that. And then he says he's done at WrestleMania recently, he hopes so, but they can all leave except Jay. And then that happens, and they go to commercial break, leave you hanging on. Then when it comes back, he says, hold on, Jay, what's going on? You disappeared. I ain't hear from you. I ain't seen you. You left your brother hanging. And he says, let me tell you something. Are we still family? Are you still part of Bloodline? Because you out there, you making matches. So we ain't discussed none of this stuff. So, but if you're gonna be doing that, are you Bloodline? He says, I'm Bloodline. Then Jay leaves, and then Paul Heyman comes up and says, my tribal chief with all the answers you've been looking for. And then Roman says he has, but you just don't know with Roman, which one thing I like about that. They announced this whole tag team showcase match at WrestleMania for the men and for the women fatal 4-way, which means let's get you on the card. That's all that means. There's nothing special about it. There's no heat behind it. Stuff. It's just like, hey, tag teams, we want you on the card. So we got Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders, Street Profits, and Strowman and Ricochet. And the women, we don't know yet. It's just to get you on the card. This kind of reminds me of when they had them 2 tag team matches back at WrestleMania 20. The 2 fatal 4-way matches, one for the Raw titles, one for the Smackdown titles. And they really give a shit about the tag team titles definitely back then. You think they didn't care about now? They definitely didn't care about them back in 2004. So I was like, it's just something to get the guys on the card. So I understand that. There it is. So Chelsea Green's part of Carmella is not there. I don't know why Carmella wasn't there, but she wants Piper Niven to go against her tag match against Bianca Belair and Asuka. Omos took on Mustafa Ali, killed him with with the tree slam, and that was it. And it's just to build up Omos. They try to give a promo package of showing like treating this like a fight, because there's a weigh-in next week between Omos and Brock Lesnar. They go over Brock Lesnar's accomplishments and Omos's height, and he's taller than Shaq. Okay, but ain't nothing else going for. Look, the person, Jordan, the actual person, I have no problem with him. Omos, the character, and how he's been booked, stuff like that, it's just, he's green. And this spot right here shouldn't be worth it. It sucks because Omos is getting this spot knowing the match is 1, not going to be long, 2, it's not going to be good, and 3, nobody's going to care. It has less heat on it, opposed to giving Bobby Lashley his match and them doing Bobby and Brock at Mania in a no-holds-barred fight to end and to blow off the feud, say that weak shit we got at Elimination Chamber. And now Bray Wyatt, the whole Bobby and Bray Wyatt thing, it's probably not even going to happen because they didn't even talk about it in days. We're the final 2 weeks, they ain't built for this at all. So now Bray is out, they said, with physical injury, and he ain't going to be on Mania no matter what. If they haven't mentioned Bray something right now, he's not going to be there. And so that's shit I look for Bobby. And that ain't fair. That ain't even really right. So I don't know. It's it sucks to just keep blowing smoke about it. So Logan Paul is with his entourage backstage. He come there for that Logan Paul type TV, impulsive TV he calls it. All right. So he's there and he talks about that only 2 people in the building that love me. He don't care. But then his microphone's kind of going out. We see backstage that Seth Rollins in the truck, and he's playing with the switches. We've seen this before. And he plays his music. Seth Rollins comes out, everybody does the all that stuff. And then Seth he about to talk, but said, "No, we ain't talking no more." And just starts fighting Logan Paul. Then they start brawling. So yeah, so they had to break him up. Seth does a crazy crossbody from the ring down to the floor, but he almost landed on his head because he over-rotated where them guys was at. I'm glad he didn't get injured. But then Logan Paul hits him with the one lucky punch, and Seth Rollins is out. And that's how the segment ends. So it was it was cool. Do I like Logan Paul? No, but it was still a cool segment to help get this match over. Logan Paul's the second time Logan Paul knocked out Seth Rollins. Second time. So, and just like I said, I'm so glad Seth Rollins was not injured because he the security guards trying to block them apart. You can imagine. And he just from the top of the ring to do a crossbody security guards, but it's like they only was able to grab his legs, and he kind of really almost fell to say that could have been the end of the WrestleMania match. So I'm glad that it's cool. But this is going to be for night 1. So night 1, so far it's the only night 1 confirmation that we got. Dominic Mysterio's back coming to the ring with Damian Priest, and then he's having a match with Johnny Gargano. Gargano has the ribs taped because last week at NXT, Grayson Waller came to his house and beat up Gargano, and that's why he's selling the injury. So this match was actually pretty good. I thought this was one of Dominic's best matches, and Dominic hits the frog splash and beats Gargano. He beats him. And I'm like, oh my God, they really try to put some stuff behind Dominic. He grabs the microphone and says, "Last Friday on Smackdown is good for nothing. Finally declined his challenge at WrestleMania. Mysterio is going to stop he gets what he wants. He said, but he knows the whole Mysterio family is going to be there on SmackDown. So he's going to go on SmackDown this Friday, and he thinks he has a way that can get his dad to, accept his match at WrestleMania. So Dominic has really grown on the mic, grown in the ring, and it's good. I'm really enjoying Dom right now. I'm like, okay, this is the other thing I was saying. Like, this is a match we know is going to happen, Mysterio and Dominic. But the thing is, we just got to get there. And I'm like, can we not hold this out to the Hall of Fame and do that? Like, we got to get this in there so we can build this thing up. And then I think Mysterio and Dom is the final match, and then the card be locked. I don't know what's going on with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I don't know if they're going to be added to anything, but right now, it could be to their women's showcase matchup. I don't know if they're going. Like, I really don't know what the hell is going on when it comes to that. But I'm just like, I don't think Lita and Becky need to be doing double duty, because right now, the way the card sits right now, once Rey and Mysterio get confirmed, it'll be 13 matches. So it'll be 7 one night, 6 the other night. So that's a nice balance of time. I mean, you can fit 8 matches a night, but you don't want to have 16 match card. I was saying, but right now it's 12 until they confirm Mysterio and Dominic. So it'll be 13. So 7 one night, 6 on the other night. And I think it's a good time for all the matches to have time to breathe, So there's a backstage pre-tape promo with Edge, which looked not good. I'm sorry, it did not look good. I don't know what they were trying to go for. I think they were trying to go for some, like edges, like it looked like a floating edge here around these candles, and the quality just looked terrible. I was like, this is just lazily put together. But the sum of the whole thing up, Edge wants the Demon at WrestleMania, and he's going to introduce the Demon because he heard Balor say that hell has no, can't contain his demon. Well, he wants the Demon to see his devil. So basically, Brood Edge, hopefully, versus the Demon Finn Balor. That's how I think everything is going to be going. We haven't seen the Demon since he got killed by Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules back in 2021. So now to see the Demon back as a heel character, because the Demon is always a face character, we're going to see how that goes. I'll give my predictions later, but I would love to see the Demon Finn Balor back. Rhea Ripley makes her way to the ring, and she in her street clothes, cuts a promo on Charlotte. Flair thinks she's the leader of the women's division, and but leaders respect others. But after the match, Charlotte doesn't respect her, but she wants Charlotte to fear her. Okay, and they had the what chant going on. I was just like, it's not needed here, but she acknowledged it and tried to put it down, but you just don't acknowledge the what chant. Flair knows that every time they're going to war, she's gotten up and keep going because that's what she's done. Flair was trying to keep people down below her. Well, that's not going to happen at WrestleMania because she don't have to respect her, but she's going to fear her. Well, then Damage Control comes out, but it's like, well, you know what? Hey, if you want any advice, you talk about locker room leaders. If you want any advice, I beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, which she did in that Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 33. So, and pinned her in her first pay-per-view match, and that was Bayley's first pay-per-view or first WrestleMania, whatever it was. So I was like, yeah, that is true. But then it ends up to an impromptu matchup. The promo didn't really care too much about. Like I said, there's not that much heat on this match, and this is going to be the main event night one. And that's how I'm feeling about it. So, but we get the match between Rhea Ripley and Bayley with Damage Control on the outside. Meanwhile, halfway through the matchup, Becky Lynch comes out with a big bag of popcorn with Lita and Trish Stratus. They're just sitting there eating the popcorn and watching this matchup. Bayley gets hit with the Riptide, and then Rhea Ripley wins the matchup. It was a decent matchup. It got better towards the end. But once again, the crowd wasn't really giving it the reaction it was because there's two heels. So it's Rhea. It's like, do you cheer for Rhea, but Rhea's a heel. You cheer for Bayley, but no, she's a heel. And then the whole thing with Becky, Lita, and Trish, I was like, y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta do better. Like hyping this thing up, especially when you have Lita and Trish being a part of this. I'm just saying. Chad Gable was walking around looking for Otis, but he's over there, or Otis. I forgot what his Maxwell male model name is. He's getting his nails done, something like that. But he needs his guy in his corner because Ricochet's gonna have Braun Strowman in his corner. And then Otis does pick Gable over Maxine, to go to the ring so they can have the matchup. So, let me just run through this matchup real quick. This actually, wrestling-wise, was the best match on the card between Gable and Ricochet, and I would like to see this. Like, give them 15 minutes. They'll put on a good match for you guys. But as Otis gets distracted by Maxine, it distracts Gable, and then Ricochet takes Gable down, hits the shooting star press, and wins the matchup. So, like I said, they're both gonna be in the showcase match, but just seeing these guys one-on-one would have been good. Like, this is gonna be a breakaway, so Chad Gable can do a singles run this year, and that's what he needs. That's exactly what Chad Gable needs, because he's too good not to have one. So, before we go into the next matchup, we have the next Hall of Fame inductee, which is Andy Kaufman. So, I really get a chance to talk about the Hall of Fame Cup because I was busy all last week. Mysterio is going in. I think it's a good pick, surprising pick, but it's still Mysterio's deserving of going to the Hall of Fame. The Great Muta absolutely deserves going to the Hall of Fame. With that match that he had with Shinsuke Nakamura earlier, I figured that was going to be a lead into the Hall of Fame. Andy Kaufman, which it's well overdue, but I don't know if the Kings will be able to induct him because he just had a stroke. Rumor is Stacy Keibler. And the fifth one is another rumor that may be a ref. I'm not necessarily sure. There's no Batista this year, which just sucks. There's no 7, 8, 9 Hall of Fame inductees. I think George is 215. He loved that number 5, don't he? He's just going to like a more compacted Hall of Fame, which me personally, I think that's what it should be. It's like some years when you just had it to just compact it, like with like 5, 6 names. That's cool, so you don't overexpose everything. People have enough time to talk and get what they want out. Then when you get ridiculous and put like, oh my gosh, like 11 names in this class, it's just like, whoo, you kind of gotta slow down a little bit. But I'm like, okay, it's cool with this, but this class is like Mysterio, Muta, Kaufman, Keibler. Okay, it's like, what you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Like, Keibler sucked in everything, but just looked good. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Like, they're gonna put Tori was in there, so Stacey Keibler's going to have to make it in there. I mean, fuck, Shawn Mills in there. So, we're just honoring the characters of WWE and the characters of wrestling, so, I'm not going to play too much about it. Tag team matchup, Bianca Belair and Asuka taking on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. This match was really forgettable. Only thing is, when you see Bianca Belair do the KOD to Piper Niven, the crowd pops for it, everybody pops for it. After that, Asuka attacks Bianca Belair, and now they finally get physical for the first time. But it's cold. The whole thing is cold. Okay, so right now, it's like they got to put on a match. Like, they're going to put on a decent match at Mania, but the storyline on it, it's just cold. It really could. Because the crowd don't be feeling it. And honestly, it's just, I think the crowd could tell that. I think it's going to be Rhea. It was going to be Rhea and Bianca, which I think they had a better program for written out. But then they had the whole Charlotte thing come back and beat Ronda. And then, first of all, it could probably be, Bianca and Charlotte. I don't think Bianca and Asuka was the plan. Even though it would be a good match, it wasn't the plan. And right now, they got to come up on the fly to try to figure out some things. And it sucks. It sucks. The crowd is not feeling it. We not feeling it. And it's just, I hope they have a good match at WrestleMania, which I know they would, but it's just like, you got to put some heat on this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, because right now, going in, I was like, when Asuka debuted that clown gimmick at the Royal Rumble, I was like, okay, she could go to WrestleMania and get a championship. But now it's been so ice cold. She hasn't been a full-fledged heel. There's no difference between regular Asuka and the killer clown Asuka. So I still see Bianca winning this thing, but we don't know this yet. Final segment of the night when it came to Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes going face to face. Okay, so Roman Reigns is out because first of all, Paul Heyman told the Usos they can go to the plane and get some Molly and all the seafood and stuff like that. But Solo, you gotta stay with the Tribal Chief. He wants you there. So they come out, and of course, wrestling has more than one royal family. Cody comes out and. Cody does as usual. So what do we want to talk about? So, but Rose already knows. So here's the gist of what's going on. So Cody said, I was warned to stay out of Bloodline business. Mr. Heyman tells you have a Cody Rhodes problem. So can you define what the Cody Rhodes problem is? And Heyman was going to speak, but Cody cuts him off and says, no, I'm talking to him. I'm talking to Roman Reigns. And Roman was just like, okay, well, Roman says, let's get something straight. Rhodes isn't the problem. What you represent is the problem. He said, Rhodes is the way he used to be, a professional wrestler with the quotations up. But I'm a fighter. And the fighter has allowed me to be a megastar around here. You say you do all these things, but look at your track record, okay? He said you didn't want to go do Stardust, so then what'd you do? You left, okay? And then you ran away. And then you went and started a promotion that you couldn't get over in. And then what you do? You ran away. And so the crowd's like, ooh. Now, we already know. Cody was over like crazy in AEW, okay? Obviously, that's, just still. But it helped work for the promo. So, he says, but, then you got over here, then your body gave out on you. And then, Rose is going to finish the story on April 2nd, which is night 2. It's a lottery ticket for him, but April 3rd is when Rose wakes up. He has to look in the mirror, and Reigns wants Rose to make a choice that his father will be proud of. Otherwise, he'll do what he always does and run away like a little bitch. Rose says he doesn't want to admit, but it's true. He did run away. The business broke his heart. Met adversity, so he ran away. That started this thing. Yeah, he needed to leave for that. But no one is crying about it because it made him 100%. Because it made him better. He came back and can make more money. Rose says sometimes he still wants to be a superstar, but he is just like the runaway, violent, like the taste of blood in my mouth professional wrestler. But he said, let me get something straight real quick. And make something very clear. No one needs to mention his father anymore. He's sick of it. Which, I was like saying, we can't ride on Dusty Rhodes this whole story. Cody has to stay on his own. He said, I'm sick and tired of hearing his father isn't going to come down and hit a bionic elbow. His brother works somewhere else. So the only thing Reigns will see at Mania is Cody. It's him. And then, but Rose will talk about his mean-ass Cuban mother, who would tell him to knock Reigns out while he's down, and I can hit him for good measure. So Rose wants to talk about April 3rd, which means Reigns. Reigns will wake up and remember what it was like to lose. Reigns will wake up without the titles to mean that the most in the world, and what will happen is Jay will leave him, and followed by Jimmy. Oh, no Usos. Solo Sikoa. And Solo, who will be glaring at him when he realizes he's not. When he looked at Solo, he was just like, "You're not ready. You think you're ready, but you're not ready." Solo will leave him. Then Heyman will just become an advocate again, and he'll be Roman with no more Reigns, a chief without a tribe. Reigns shakes his head, chuckles, and then he was like, Cody Chan picks up and he tries the microphone and walks off. But Solo is still back in the ring with Rose. And then Rose is like daring Solo to hit him. But then Solo decides to walk off. And as he about to go through the ropes, and Cody was like, see? Told you, you're not ready. So Solo about to go attack Cody. Cody kick him right in the face and goes back to the ropes. So now Solo's pissed. He about to do the whole Samoa spike, get mad. But then Roman racks him down. He says, stop. Next week. So next week it's going to be Solo Sikoa taking on Cody Rhodes. I think Solo gets his first loss. I don't know how they're going to book it. I don't know if they're going to do it like a double DQ. I don't know. You ain't going to have Cody lose before Mania, and you ain't going to have Solo, and you don't really have Solo with us, but that's what builds the drama up. Great in the main event segment. It was great. These Cody and Roman and Paul stuff has been great. Help build up. This one, it feels like a main event. This is what Charlotte and Rhea is missing. A lot of matches are missing, but it's great. So I thought Raw was pretty good this week. I thought it was like, it just still got some other Raw stuff, but it helped keep building to WrestleMania, and that's what you want to do, is help keep building to WrestleMania. So So Raw overall, I think Raw getting thumbs up for that segment alone, in that segment at the beginning, stuff like that. So post any comments down below how you guys feel about Monday Night Raw. Hit the like button if you enjoyed my review. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content, wrestling content, 2K content, pop culture content right here on NC Studios. So once again, it's NC the place to be. Mr. Andy, and the Nerd Coalition is out.